Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the League, I would like to present each and every one of you today. It's very pleasing to see so many people here. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, that's real good. I'd like to, first of all, introduce you to our invited guests, starting from my right, Jeff Montalone, a Vice President of the Port Adelaide Football Club. Welcome, Jeff, to our meeting. Mr Don McSweeney, the representative for Eyre Peninsula to the Affiliated Leagues Council. Welcome, Don. Mr Bill Flavel, the President of the Port Lincoln Football League, and Mr Peter Blacker, the member for Flinders, who will present our trophies. Welcome, Peter, and good to see you with us. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the trophy winners, and it certainly is a very illustrious group of footballers, and there's quite a number of them on display today. We're running a few minutes late, so at this point I'd like to introduce to you Mr Peter Blacker, who will present the male medal to Mr Lindsay Henry. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr Blacker.
Thank you, Mr President, Mr Montalone, Mr Sweeney, Mr Flavel, the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Don, to you and the committee for the invitation to be here with you today. It's a glorious day, a glorious grand final. Congratulations to those teams, or to the Kapinnie teams so far that have won. And I guess there's many saying, hope that it's 3 in a row. But Eyre United here to see that it's not 3 in a row for Kapinnie today. But in any case, may the best team win, and may we see the best football that Great Flinders can provide here today. I'd like to take this opportunity of congratulating all the trophy winners. In particular, congratulations to Lindsay. It's a magnificent effort, Lindsay. I've only seen you play, I think, 3 games. It's been tremendous on those 3 occasions, and obviously, from the umpire's point of view, you have been the best and fairest in this league this year. We congratulate you. The male medal is a goal of which everyone would aim to achieve in the football field. You have achieved this goal with distinction. To the other trophy winners, congratulations. You, equally so, have performed in your respective classes, and I'd like to congratulate you for your efforts, and in particular I'd like to thank all of those who donated the trophies and made them possible. Today's grand final is the climax of the year's activities. It's one of which we can all be proud. Congratulations, fellas.
Yeah, Lindsay, if you would come forward. Lindsay won the medal with 19 votes. From 3 people on 16, Rodney Pearson, who was runner-up on a countback from Michael Trelaw, with Neil Carr third. He might just have to hold of it. Lindsay, just hang on. Also that goes with that is the Don McSweeney trophy. If you like to come forward, Lindsay, there's 1 or 2 more here that you might have to carry around. The Don McSweeney trophy and the Ross Faulkner Perpetual trophy, which is the big one that is kept for 12 months. So congratulations, Lindsay. Would you like to present yours, Don, to Lindsay? Lindsay, if you'd like to come forward and say a few words. Don't go away, Lindsay. I'm sorry, I just looked down the sheet here, and Lindsay also wins the John Clark Trophy for the fairest and best under 21. So, Lindsay, would you like to come forward? John, would you like to present that, or Peter, would you like to present Johnny Clark? Thank you, Lindsay, and congratulations, and we all look forward to your performance this afternoon. Next on our list is Jeffrey Phelps, who represented this Eyre Peninsula in the South Australian countryside. Jeffrey, would you like to come forward and receive a presentation on behalf of the Great Flinders Football League?
I'd like to thank the donor for the trophy, the EP selectors, Don McSweeney in particular, for seeing fit to put my name down for this selection, and thanks to Great Flinders and Kapinnie, because without Kapinnie you don't have the team, can't make these sides, and thank you.
Lindsay and Jeffrey, if you like to go, you can move out. If you fellas want to go back to, no problem. The Garth Shoe Store trophy for the leading goal kicker in the A grade was won by Shane Harris with 82 goals.
Firstly, I'd like to thank donor of the trophy, Garth, and the rest of your teammates. Thanks a lot.
I think we'll probably see him moving around a bit quicker than he was talking this afternoon. The Lock Meek Store Service Trophy for the Most Improved Junior, which is selected by the captains of each side, has been won by Neil Phelps for the Kapinnie Club.
I'd just like to thank the Lock Meat Store for donating the trophy, the association for thinking I was good enough to win it, and my teammates, and congratulations to the Kapinnie team so far today. Thanks.
The LA Sampson Memorial Trophy for the best and fairest in the B grade, and a very, very popular win, was won by Danny Kramer of the Tumby Bay Club.
First of all, I'd like to thank the donor of the trophy, my teammates, Clem Young, trainer, and Toby Franks on the bench. Virtually was the coach of the Tumby side. I'd like to congratulate Puck and his lads. They turned the tables on us today, and well, they can come into our club this year because we went out there last year. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Danny. The Peter Barnett Trophy for the best team man in the interleague competition was won by Rodney Pearson, who had an absolute incredible year of football, and I think probably a real satisfying year from his point of view. Winner of the best team man in interleague football, Rodney Pearson.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the donor of the trophy, and was privileged to be able to play for Great Flinders this year. I think every player in this league is very proud to play for their league, and while I'm here I'd just like to congratulate especially Lindsay Henry on winning the male medal, and best of luck to all the Eyre United and Kapinnie players this afternoon.
Thank you, Rodney, and we look forward to you performing again next year. The T.H. Lovegrove Trophy for the best and fairest player under 18 was won by Tom Millard of the Kapinnie Club.
I'd just like to thank the donors of the trophy, and commiserations to Tumby Bay. They played a great game today, and wish both sides the best of luck in the main match today. Thanks very much.
The RA and PM Denham Trophy for the leading goal kicker in the B grade with 62 goals was S. Higgins of Tumby Bay.
First of all, thanks to the donor of the trophy. Congratulations to the Kapinnie B grade on their magnificent win today, and all the best to the two A grade teams in the final. Thank you.
The Clark's Newsagent Trophy to the runner-up to the fairest... No, we're going one too fast. The VK Griffiths Trophy for the best and fairest in the Colts was won by Sean McInerney from the Lock Club. A really great little footballer, this chap, and he's got a really big future.
I'd just like to thank the donor of the trophy. I'd like to thank Mr. Bordup for coaching us throughout the year, and congratulations to all other trophy winners. Thanks.
The Clark's Newsagent Trophy for the runner-up to the best and fairest was won by David Borges of the Cummins Club.
I'd just like to thank the donor of the trophy and Crockett for coaching us during the year, and good luck to the rest of the team today.
Good on you, David. Thank you very much. The Alan Micken Trophy for the best team man in the Interleague Junior Colts was won by a really good little footballer in Peter Kersley, who had a great year at Interleague level.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Mike McInerney for coaching us up there, and thanks all.
Good on you, Pete. The Cummins Hotel Trophy for the best and fairest Colt under 13 was won by Greg Muller of the Lock Club.
I'd just like to thank the donor of this trophy and Mr. Bordup for coaching us through the year, and the rest of our team and all the other teams for the fun that we've had this year. Thank you.
Real good, excellent. The Sir Glenn Pearson Memorial Shield and the R.R.K. Faulkner Perpetual Cup to the B-grade premiers. With the representative of the Kapinnie Club, please come forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to thank Wayne, our coach, my teammates for a great team game today, our opposition who played a magnificent game, and we've only got one more to go for the day. Best of luck for the Tigers.
The LeBrun Tonkin Shield for the Colts premiers. Who was Colts premiers? Will they please come forward to represent the Colts, please? Captain of the Kapinnie Colts around.
I'd just like to thank Coach Rodney and the donor of the shield and the fellow teammen. Thanks.
Thank you, Craig. The Harold Howell Shield for the Mini League was this year won by the Eyre United Club. Where are they? Come on, boys. You'll notice that all the Eyre United Minis are all dressed in their footy clothes. That's a great effort.
I'd just like to thank Mr. Professor for coaching this year and all the other players for playing a good game.
Well done, boys, and a really good year. The Magnoy Alloy Shield for the leading club in all grades was won by the Tumby Bay Club. President of the Tumby Bay Club, Mr. Carr.
Ladies and gentlemen, First of all, I'd like to thank all the players in the Tommy Bay Club, from the minis to the A grade, who made it possible for the club to win this. Also, I'd like to congratulate all the other trophy winners from the day. And last but not least, I hope there's a good game in the A grade and may the best team win. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Just before I conclude, I would ask that the A grade game will not commence until all spectators, children and adults, are outside the fence. That's the only request I've got. Would you please remain outside the fence during the A grade game? Thank you very much. Very quiet, chaps. They're stuck in the background here. I think, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably read their history in the budget, and I'd like on behalf of the Great Flinders League to congratulate both of you. It's a really great effort that these two chaps have given to the league, club-wise and administration-wise and association football. Congratulations, and it's a pleasure to have you a life member of Great Flinders.
Don and Peter and our official guests here today, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great privilege to receive this award today, and I'd like to thank everyone who has helped to make it possible. All our trophy winners, I congratulate those, especially Lindsay, to come into the association for his first year and to win the male medal is a tremendous effort. And I know that we've got a magnificent day for football this afternoon, so there should be no excuses, and I look forward to a very interesting encounter. Thanks very much.
And Mr. Neil Pedler. Join a pretty neat team.
Mr. Millard, Mr. Blacker, and invited guests. I'd like to thank the League for making this life membership available. You may think it's a reward for services given, but I've been rewarded through the years of being part of a successful Great Flinders era. I think it was all capped off in 1972 when we played on Adelaide Oval and won the Cowtex Cup. But I would like to thank all the people in Great Flinders that I've mixed with and enjoyed sport with over my career. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I apologise for that. It wasn't on the bottom of my list, and I should have been first. I'm sorry about that. There's been a little wireless. Oh, it's John.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this telecast of the Grand Final of the Great Flinders League for 1985. The two teams that are in are Kapinnie, who have been there before, and Eyre United, who are there for the first time. And we just congratulate both those teams for making the Grand Final. The umpires for this afternoon are Kim Spackman and Ray Nagel. Kim is from Lock, and Ray is from Port Lincoln. So we welcome those two to the arena and wish them all the best as they control this game this afternoon. It's a beautiful day, as we can see outside here, the sun's shining and the atmosphere is absolutely electric. And we see the banners are out for both sides. There's a large crowd, there's people right around the arena, and so we should be in for a great day. And Rodney Green is the first man out. And then we have Phelps, we have number 1 Bryant, and we have the Nelligan boys, and they're looking really in good shape. And so they're really out for a great game this afternoon.
Yes, Kapinnie boys look fairly fit. They struggled against Jelena last week in the preliminary final. Is he still going?
Yes, coming.
Eyre United just moving out, led out by their skipper, Steve Fegert. Stephen Fegert's been a tremendous player for this Eyre United club.
Brian Fegert playing probably his last game.
Brian Fegert, the brother of Stephen, is probably playing his last game of football. There goes the Saints, straight through the banner, and they look a fit, mean-looking side. They've recruited well this year, Eyre United, and Kapinnie haven't beaten them in their 3 occasions they've met. And I guess they'd have to start hot favourites, David.
Yes, I think they would actually. I think that Eyre United should be favourites at this stage, although Kapinnie have been in the finals before, and that's something that is probably to their advantage, whereas Eyre United have never ever been there. They came into the association, I think, in 1971, and so they're really looking forward to this game today. Yes, this year we've provided the male medal in Lindsay Henry, and what a tremendous player that young lad is. He's a really... The toss is being made now between Stephen Fegert and Rodney Green. And the coin goes up and down it comes, and Stephen Fegert has won the toss, and he's kicking down the southern end.
I would also request that anybody that's not...
Eyre United have Shane Harris at centre-half forward, Stephen Fegert at full forward. And as you know, this year Shane has done a great job in kicking 82 goals for the season and winning the goal kicking for this year. But Kapinnie have their goal kicking people as well, the Nelligan boys. And then we've got Rosie. We've got Phelps. He's a great player. Jeff Phelps, a tall lad, very strong. He's a great player. So it's going to be a tremendous contest this afternoon. And the bounce is down. Ray Nagle did the bounce. Here we go. Eyre United got the first kick through Dale Cameron. He passes out to Peter Gray, who missed it. It's coming back now from Kapinnie. It's coming across to Bryant, who taps on. We have now Tom Flanagan, who picks the ball up, and a left foot kick down to the forward line. The tap on. Lindsay Henry has the ball, a left foot kick for goal, and she's through, ladies and gentlemen. It's a first goal to Eyre United. That's kicked by Lindsay Henry, the male medalist. What a tremendous goal, left footer. And that's the ability of that young lad to be able to snapshot from anywhere. And so that's really tremendous, the first goal coming out to Eyre United.
Yes, Henry, exciting player. We've only played, 30 seconds a game, and Eyre United have already got one on the board. Ball being relayed back to umpire Kim Spackman, who was doing his first grand final in the Great Flinders Association this year. He comes in, he will bounce, sink as opposed to Harris. Harris gets the tap down, it goes straight to Kim Green, who drives a torpedo punt kick up to his brother on the half-forward line. He cannot pick it up, he comes in for seconds. Stephen Pake comes in over the ball, he picks up. He is met heavily by Baldacera. Baldacera's a scrimmage comes out as Green is first the ball, but he's knocked off the ball by Weaver. And the ball is out of bounds on the outer side of the ground on the half-forward flank for Kapinnie. Ball put in. Sinclair gets tapped down straight to Nelligan. Nelligan onto the left foot, looking for his full forward, and Phelps runs it with Brian Fegert, kicks it out hurriedly, and a good mark has been taken by Jeff Cummins on the half-forward flank. Cummins comes in, it's a wobbly old kick, but comes into the full forward area. Harrifield gets a hand pass, but goes to no one. It retrieves the ball again, gets a hurried cricket, and Phelps gets a handball across to his captain in Green. Green is dummied around. I think he's caught. He might be holding the ball, I think. Yes, a good tackle put on him by Harrifield. Ian Harrifield will relieve the pressure for the Saints. His nice kick comes out to the half-back line. Players fly for it. Rosie could not take it. Harris picks the ball up. Handball out to Pake. Pake spills what he should have taken. Players flying in over the ball. Someone's caught one a bit high, and Stephen Pake will take the kick for the Tigers on the half-forward line. He kicks into the full forward area, but Weaver comes in and marks in front of Phelps. Weaver with a headgear on drives the ball back into the centre of the ground. Players will fly for it. No one comes over the back to Phelps. Phelps gets a long handball across to his teammate in Nelligan, in turn to his brother Morris Nelligan, back to his brother. He scoops the ball over to Sinclair. Sinclair gets the ball, but he wobbles it off, but Flanagan relieves for Eyre United, swings onto the left foot, and he goes down to the centre of the ground where it is marked by Mike Kenny of Kapinnie.
He kicks out to the wing where Nelligan marks at number 10. He plays on. He kicks it down to the half-forward line where Pickett and Green go for it. Green still has the ball, picks it up off the boundary. He loses it. A good tackle and is holding the ball. So it's Chris Weaver to bring it out from the back line again. A nice kick down to the wing, but there's nobody there, and it's marked by Cunningham. He kicks it across to centre where Michael Harris is there, and he marks it unopposed. He has another pass out to David Newland, who takes the ball and he plays on, kicks it down to centre half forward, where it's not a very good kick, but it's screws on the ground. Phelps has got it now. Jeff Phelps has got it. He kicks it out to the wing where Cunningham marks it. Not a great lot of movement. There's a kick down to Cummins, and Cummins marks it on the half forward line. He plays on. He gets around Dale Cameron. He kicks it back, and here it is, Baldacera again. A beautiful pass into the centre where Mark Cameron marks it, and he kicks it out into the wing where David Newland takes a good mark again. He slows the game up a little bit. He kicks it down to centre half forward where Stephen Fegert is there. He doesn't quite mark it. Lindsay Hendry's in there, goes in hard. Myers gets the ball, is smothered, picked up again by Howe. Howe kicks it out to the wing where Nelligan marks it on the wing. Slowing the game down a little bit. There's nobody ready to kick it to. He just kicks it up in the air. There's Weaver going for the knock, and he knocks it on. And here is Mark Cameron, picks up the ball on the wing, a handball over to Ollie Flanagan, back to Mark Cameron, another handball over to Peter Gray. And he's smothered. Mark Cameron picks up the ball again, and he's smothered. And the ball is now coming out onto the wing where Turnbull picks the ball up, kicks it along to Sinclair, who misses the ball. It's picked up by Eyre United, but now Nelligan, number 11, picks it up and kicks it down where nobody can mark it. It's coming back now where Stephen Pake has picked up the ball. Everyone misses the ball as it goes through their hands. Picked up by Phelps, who kicks it over to the centre half forward position where Parsons marks the ball. He's about 25, 30 metres out. He goes for a short pass into Kim Green, and it's a successful pass. He's about 10 metres closer to goal. He's lining up for Kapinnie's first real shot at goal. It's a straight kick, yes, right through the centre, straight over the goal umpire's head. So that's now the score is 1 goal apiece. Kapinnie 1 goal, Eyre United 1 goal. Mike, the game has really started off at a fierce pace, and it's there's a lot of smothering the ball. They're not able to get out on their own a lot, are they? Because it's a real tactical game for a start.
Yes, I suppose the nerves sort of take a while to calm down. But I think after about 10 minutes, they should settle down and we should see some very good football. As umpire Nova comes in the bounce, a wobbly old bounce, goes straight to Harris. Comes to ground where Henry will pick it up. He swings onto the right foot, looking for Cameron, and players fly for it, but Rosie picks the crumbs. Back to Steve Myers, swings onto the left foot. Here's FAD behind the play, and Stephen Pake will receive the free kick. He will kick the ball up to the centre half forward position, but Weaver should mark this on his chest, no worries. He's played quite a good game, all right, and it's about his 3rd or 4th kick, and we've been playing for about 10 minutes at the stage. Weaver comes to the centre of the ground, players fly for it. Nice mark by Phelps, right over Flanagan, and he's a tall player, Phelps, and great play. Here's a nice kick too, and it finds Morris Lanigan, and on the half-forward flank, tight on the boundary. Morris Nelligan, what a fine player he is. His brother, Grant, top player too. Into the full forward area, Green by Baldacera, out to Doritzi, out to Henry. Henry's torpedo kick comes to the wing position where Phelps will mark, and great mark by Jeffrey Phelps. He hasn't given Harris a bit of a touch at the ball yet. He's a nice disposal of the ball too, as this one's no exception. Goes up to the half-forward line, and Doritzi takes a well-judged mark. Doritzi's kick comes to the wing area, back to Phelps again, who's marked it. I think he's brought his own football today, Jeffrey, and that's about his 4th mark. He looks for his little rover, and Luke Parsons takes a well-judged mark. sliding just forward, forward of centre. Oh, shocking kick by Parsons. But Phelps will be first there. Phelps gets a handball across to Nelligan. Nelligan dummies. He's going to head for home, I think. What's the kick like? It looks all right from here. Just off line. Just off line to Grant Nelligan. It was well played across there. And things are... Yes, there's a change here. It's Stephen Figgett coming out to centre half forward and Harris going to full forward. And Jeffrey's got a bit more height to contend with now back there. Brian Figgett's kick out is come right down to the half-back line where Henry picks up, swoops on it, gets a long handball across to Flanagan. Flanagan will be first there. He's had about 10 yards run and his kick goes right into the full forward area where Baldacera drops it. It's Gray, is it? Handball by Peter Gray. Yeah, and Harris, he's caught handball and he's caught holding the ball and Alan Howe gets the free kick. He swings onto his right foot, comes out to the half-back flank where Cunningham takes a well-judged mark. His kick comes up to the wing on the outer side. Sinclair will be first there, but the bounce beats him. He gets a tap across, but Cameron intercepts it. And he has one bounce. He will look for his centre-half forward and Stephen Figgett. A tremendous pass and handball across to Peter Gray. He swings into his left leg, right into the full forward area. Players fly for it. Out comes the fist. First to it is Mate Rosie, gets a handball to the ground. Heavy bodies going in. Rosie comes in to pick up the crumbs, has one bounce, has two, has a kick now up to the wing area where Stephen Pate takes a good mark. He plays on immediately onto the left foot. He will look for Parsons, but Duretzi comes in and spoils it. And Phelps picks up. This is Tom Phelps gets a hurried kick over his shoulder where Morris Nelligan takes a good mark. He swings around onto his left leg, looking for Green, his captain, in Rodney Green, whose left leg is heavily strapped due to an earlier injury this year. Rodney Green, the captain of the Tigers, hasn't played a lot of football this year. He has been put on a very tight angle and he comes in to kick. I think it's across the goals as Flanagan flies high. No, Pickett. It's hard to tell these blokes, but that's Pickett who took a very good mark. And he will relieve the pressure for United.
He kicks it out to our... where Mark Cameron misses the ball, the bounce misses him. Nelligan picks it up, handballs over to Kim Green, who has one bounce, and kicks into a pass to Phelps, and who marks it in front of Ian Harrowfield. He's on a very tight angle, about 35 metres out from goal. He's lining up now, a very deliberate shot for goal, a left footer. The ball goes in and it is a beautiful goal. Yes, it's right through the middle. That was a great kick by Phelps, who is a left footer and he was on his the right side for his left foot. So that gives the score now to Kapinnie 2-1, Eyre United 1 goal. So it's 13 points to 6 points. And we've been going probably about 15 minutes. Right. Spackman now takes the ball, bouncing it in the centre. Michael Harris and Sinclair going for the knock. Sinclair gets the knock. Bryant knocks the ball on. He kicks it off the ground, goes after it again. Dale Cameron goes after it, and he's pulled without the ball. So Dale Cameron takes a free kick on the wing. He runs around the man. Yes, he runs around two men. Now he kicks down to centre half forward where David Newland slides the mark with Phelps. They all miss it. Neil Fitzgerald handballs over his head to nobody in particular. It's picked up now by Shane Nelligan and goes out to where Peter Gray and Cunningham fire for the ball. It's picked up now by the Kapinnie player and it's out of bounds on the far side. The ruck's contesting again. It's Sinclair and Michael Harris. Kapinnie pick up the ball through Nelligan. Brian now bumps out someone and he's put down after the play, and there's a free kick down on the half forward line that's going to be taken by Rodney Green. Rodney Green goes for a pass across to Stephen Pake, who misses the ball. Pushes him out of play, and the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket for Kapinnie. Ball's thrown in now. Weaver knocks the ball forward. where the ball's going to run out of bounds again, a bit further around from the goals of Kapinnie. Ball's thrown in. Kim Green and Ian Harriff will go for the knock. It's knocked down to Kapinnie man. And there's a beautiful mark by Luke Parsons, just about in the goal square. He's only a young lad, young Luke. I think he's only 17 years of age. Is that right, Mike?
Just 17.
Just 17 years of age, and he's a very promising young lad for Kapinnie. He's lining the ball up now. Only about 10 metres out. Has a shot for goal, and it's straight through the centre. So that takes Kapinnie now onto 3-1 to Eyre United 1 goal. There's no wind really to assist any side, and so just absolutely a perfect day for this grand final. Kapinnie seem to be winning the ball out of centre a bit more than I think Eyre United. I think, Mike. I think they're
got a bit more height than
yeah, and he's getting the knock, and they're picking it up through Nelligan and Bryant, and taking it down to the forward line. Ball comes through again now. Sinclair kicks it on. Tom Flanagan goes to the ball. He picks the ball up on the left foot. And there's a penalty downfield. Goes to Ollie Flanagan on to Michael Harris, who kicks it down to centre to full forward, where no one really can take the mark. Jeff Phelps gets the ball, handballs it out, and it's picked up by a Kapinnie player in Howe, and it's kicked out to the wing, and it's picked up by Neil Fitzgerald. He kicks it right down to full forward, where it's marked by Jeff Phelps again. He's playing a really great game in the marking sphere today. All the balls missed there by Kapinnie. Shoved out where young Rosie picks the ball up on the wing, kicks it down on his left-hand side, where Bryant takes the mark on the wing. He plays on, and it goes down to centre-half forward, where Tom Flanagan takes a really tremendous mark. He kicks the ball down to Mark Cameron, who misses the ball. It's picked up by Shane Nelligan. Handball over to his brother. And on the other Nelligan, Jeff Phelps picks up the ball. He's caught. It goes over to Sinclair. Jeff Phelps comes back again. Picked up by David Newland. The ball comes back into the centre-half forward position for Eyre United. It's picked up by Peter Gray, shoveling the ball on the ground, trying to pick it up. Nobody can really pick that ball up. It's picked up now by Howe, and Rosie now picks the ball up as well. Comes over to Kim Green, where Kim Green takes the ball. He handballs it on to Luke Parsons, who passes it down, but there's a great mark by Brian Fegert. As we said before, possibly this is Brian's last game, so he really wants to win this one. Goes down to his brother Stephen. The ball comes out, and Nelligan picks it up. He goes along shovels along the ground. He handballs out to Cummins, who has a left foot shot for goal. But the ball is offline and waited for the goal umpire. It's just 1 point to Kapinnie. That takes Kapinnie to 3-2, 20 points to Eyre United, 1 goal. In the trainers in the centre, he's up now. Ian Harrifield takes a great mark at centre half back. He kicks it down to where David Newland is going to take the mark. Handballs on to Mark Cameron, who runs through centre half forward. He kicks it down now to where Danny Baldus here takes a good mark right down in the centre half forward, between centre half forward and full forward. Now usually Danny Baldus here is a very strong kick, and so now he's lining this ball up. This goal, Eyre United really need this goal. They're trailing by about 2 goals. And there's a good... No, I think it's only 1 point. Yes, only 1 point to Eyre United. So that takes them on to 1-1 to Kapinnie, 3-2. Coming on is Marnie. And Sinclair has gone off for a rest. They're changing their rucks off the bench. Ball now is taken by Howell, who's going to kick out from full-back. Bryant makes a lead, but doesn't kick it there. Goes out to the far side, where Jeff Phelps and Stephen Fegert. There's a punch on by Phelps. Cunningham across to Nelligan. Handball across to Nelligan, who's running through 1 bounce, 2 bounces, 3 bounces. He handballs now over to Cummings, who is caught. Yes, he's caught holding the ball. Yes, he didn't. Picked up by Lindsay Henry, and he kicks it down to Tom Flanagan, who takes a mark. Handballs over to Mark Cameron, who taps it on. And there's a a free kick from free kick behind the play to Jeff Phelps. Tom Flanagan is remonstrating with the umpire, but that's not going to do any good.
That's a good 15-yarder.
Well, that's a 15-yarder, but I reckon it's more than the length of the cricket pitch, so that's really about a 30-yarder, I think. I'm not quite sure why that was given.
I think Tom's talking to the umpire.
So Jeff Phelps now takes a long kick, long left foot kick, a wobbly kick into the centre forward area, and there Fred Pickett's going to get a free kick for over the shoulder. He kicks it out to the flank where Shane DeRizzi picks up the ball. He goes around two players, he passes it off to Tom Flanagan who picks up the ball, and now Tom Flanagan's going to get a free kick for over the shoulder. He picks up the ball on the half-back flank, he kicks it into the centre where Jeff Phelps taps it on. He rebounds, he picks it up again, tries to handballs it through to Marnie, who picks it up, and a kick out to the half-forward flank where Phelps and Weaver are going. Weaver kicks it off the ground. The ball goes about 30 metres. Still running down towards Eyre United, down the wing. Picks up, Chris Weaver still going. He gets the ball now, kicks it down to the centre half-forward area, but there's no one there for Eyre United. And it's picked up by Howe, who kicks it out to the wing, where it's marked by Kenny. And he kicks it on to Morris Nelligan, who plays on. And there's a free kick after disposal. Free kick after disposal. And it's Kapinnie player who has the kick. Stephen Pake, who kicks it into the goal square, but no, it's offline, and it's 1 point.
Yes, at the 23-minute mark, the Tigers have a 13-point advantage. As Fegart's kick comes out, Cameron gets the first grab of this one. He is hotly in pursuit as Bryant, but I think the ball is forced out of play at centre wing, just in front of our commentary position. It's a fairly heavy game of football here this afternoon. Fegart and Marnie oppose each other, where Flanagan picks the ball up and he gets a little kick down to the centre half-forward position, where it's Phelps, who's playing a great game, gets a handball across to Cunningham. Cunningham's kicked back to the centre of the ground, but Pickett marks on his chest unopposed. Pickett with a white headband plays on and comes down to the half-forward flank where Harris drops a mark, and it's picked up by Shane Nelligan. He gets a small kick up to Rosie, but the ball is a bit too quick for Rosie on this occasion and is forced out just down from the centre wing position. Ball thrown in, Fegart opposed to Marnie, goes straight to Kim Green, who weaves and turns, gets a handball across to Parsons. Louis Parsons onto the natural left kick, will get it out to his teammate, and Stephen Pake marks in the chest at half-forward flank. He gets a handball across to Luke Parsons again, who is running up the field, looking for his full forward, and it's Rodney Green takes a courageous mark out in front of Andy Baldacere. Rodney Green, the captain of the Tigers, hasn't played a lot of football this year, as I mentioned before. He's only about 20 metres out from goal, and he looks all right from here. I think he's got it through. Yes, that's Greeny's. That's his first goal to Rodney Green. Yes, there's some fairly heavy clashes going in there, some fairly head-high tackles, and there'll be some sore heads around tonight, I think. Kapinnie in the previous games won both of them, winning the Colts by a massive 10 or 11 goals in that one, and the exciting B-grade game where the Tigers won that one also. Back in the centre of the ground, Marnie opposed to Fegart in this occasion. Luke Parson comes through. He gets the ball across to Ian Bryant. He gets a hurried kick up to Stephen Pake, who plays on. I don't know what that was for. I didn't see that one. But
he played on, but the umpire gave him.
Oh, yes, I think the umpire was well out of position to see that one, because I think he did play on. And Stephen Pake at just backward of centre half forward, kicks up into the true centre half forward position. Players fly for it. Nelligan gets it and drops it. Players go to the ground. DeRizzi ducks his head, gets a handball out on the ground, where it's Weaver. It's very scrambly football over there at the centre half forward position, but it's Cunningham will get a clear kick up to the full forward area where it's Phelps and Brian Fegett contest the mark. Big Fegett gets the kick and it'll come down to the centre of the ground, but Kim Green will mark that on his chest because there's no one within cooey of him. He's a brilliant player, this Kim Green. His torpedo kick goes up to the half-forward line. Players fly for it, but no one can grab it. But Brian Fegett comes away with it. It's a wobbly old kick into Henry. He's a brilliant player, this Henry. He gets a wobbly kick. It comes down to the centre wing position. Players come for it. Myers is first there. Fitzgerald has pulled off the ball. Players stack on the ball, and umpire Nagel comes in, and he will have a bounce at centre wing.
The umpire's a little bit nervous, I think, today. I think they're...
Yes, Nagel comes in to bounce. Marnie opposed to Harris. Harris gets a tap, but it's Cameron gets a handball across to his brother in Dale. Dale heads into the centre half forward position, but chipping in is Cunningham. Cunningham looking for his centre half forward, and Stephen Pike drops it, but he recovers, swings around onto the right foot, goes to the half forward flank where he finds in Luke Parsons. Luke Parsons swings back to his natural kick, in left leg, and marked by Bryant. Handballs across to Pike. Pike drills it. Brilliant football by the Tigers.
Good play by Kapinnie. Right from the half-back line that came.
Yes, that was Stephen Pike's first goal, and they'd done that pretty easy too, I thought. A couple of lucky free kicks there in that passage of play, I guess. And
I think one or two United players are worrying about the man more than the ball, I think, Mike.
Yes, I think that might be so.
They'll settle down, I think, but at this stage I think they're just wanting to play the man a little bit too much.
Yes, the name of the game is football, and you've got to get the football to win the game. And I think we'll settle down in a minute, but grand finals, everyone's a little bit nervous, and I guess that'll settle down in a moment. Marnie opposed to Harris, comes down to Pickett, drops a ball. It's picked up by Grant Nelligan. He drives it up to the centre half forward position looking for his brother in Morris. He misses it. It comes to ground. Cummings picks up, but his kick is wide and it's out of bounds on the full. Kapinnie playing a little bit better at this stage, I reckon, and using the ball.
I think this year Eyre United have always started off slow. They've come back in the last half of the game.
Yes, and Fegett's kick comes out to the half-back line. It is picked up by Flang.
Kicks it left foot over to
Cameron.
Mark Cameron, who takes a good mark.
Yes, Cameron over the back of Cunningham that time, and he's a good player. This
15-yard penalty.
15 metres down the track. He will put this right up to the half-forward line. He's a good player, this Cameron. I like his style. And he goes looking for his centre half forward. But
ball goes over the top of the pack. David Newton picks it up, kicks it down to goal. And there's Shane Harris who's going for the mark, and the ball is run through by Howe. So it's another point to Eyre United, who takes them to 1-2 to Kapinnie 5-3. The ball is kicked out, and Turnbull marks it in front of Danny Baldassare, who handballs onto Howe. Kapinnie seem to have the running players at the present time. He kicks it down to where Phelps and Ollie Flanagan go for the mark. Phelps keeps the ball running in front of him, and the ball goes out of bounds. There's about 30 minutes of gone at this stage. Marlon Harris gets the tap over to Ollie Flanagan, who runs around onto the wing, onto his left foot. He kicks it, but it's over the head of Peter Gray and is marked by Mike Kenny. He handballs it. As the handball is smothered. Turnbull misses the ball, picked up by Kenny again. He handballs it on, but it's handballed out of bounds. Michael Harris goes to knock. Mark Cameron picks up the ball, handballs it over to his brother Dale, who passes it through to Lindsay Henry, who gets the ball now. He runs around onto his left foot. He dodges, weaves around, and he kicks it through to Shane Harris, who takes, yes, a great mark over the back by Shane Harris, only about 15 metres out from goal. He's on a fairly acute angle. But that was well played by Lindsay Henry. He kicks it around himself, yes, and it goes through for a goal. That was a check side kick, and he puts it through, right through the centre. So that takes Eyre United now to 2-2 to 14 points, to Kapinnie 5-3, 33 points. Yes, it's quite warm out here now, I think, Mike. It's the sun is shining very brightly, and is really becoming quite warm. The towels are going out to the players to try and cool them down a bit. Bryant goes into the centre again. Bounce down is won by Mike Harris. Fred Pickett gets the ball, handballs it out. Ollie Flanagan drops the ball, picked up by Cunningham, handballs it over to Kenny, who kicks it down to where Luke Parsons goes for the ball. He misses it. Derizzi picks up the ball. Pressured by Luke Parsons, handball by Weaver across to Brian Fegert, who misses the ball. Ian Harrifel gets the ball, handballs it over to Shane Derizzi, who kicks it down to the centre, where there's 3 or 4 United players. There's Stephen Fegert, takes a great mark over the top. He goes back, he's right in the centre position. Kicks it now right down to centre half forward, where Danny Baldassare goes to the mark. And there's the siren to end the first quarter with Kapinnie 5-goal-3, 33 points to Eyre United 2-goal-2. Mike, I think Kapinnie were just a little bit too fast for Eyre United in that first quarter. And as I said before, I think Eyre United, some of their players just tried to play the man a little bit too much more than try and go for the ball. Kapinnie were first to the ball all the time.
Yes, Kapinnie started well that first quarter, David, and played exceptionally well. They wanted the ball. They, like you said, I thought Eyre United guys were going to sort of loosen some of the players up, but it didn't sort of come off this time because they played the ball. Kapinnie, yes, Phelps is playing. He's controlled centre half back, and
right, we're ready to start the game again. Kim Spackman bounces the ball. Sinclair and Michael Harris. Michael Harris gets the knock, comes over to Nelligan, picks up the ball, handballs it on. No one can beat up. Dale Cameron taps the ball back. Nelligan picks it up, gets away, kicks it down to half-forward line. The ball bounces over the head of Kapinnie player, picked up by Shane Derizzi. He comes in again. The ball's on the ground. There's a bit of a scrimmage, and nobody can pick up the ball. And there's going to be a bounce on the half-forward line for Kapinnie. There's a change for Eyre United. Andrew Newland is on, and Peter Gray's off. The ball goes down. Nobody really gets the tap, picked up by Nelligan onto his left foot, but there's an infringement, and it's a free kick to Ollie Flanagan on the half-back line. Just waiting for the ball to come back to Flanagan. He gets the ball now. Kick into the centre where Michael Harris and Rosie go for it. Dale Cameron misses the ball as he tries to tap it on. Picked up by Nelligan. Kicks it down where nobody can mark it. Picked up by Baldassare. He kicks it over to the wing where David Newton takes the mark in front of Mark Rosie. He kicks the ball on to where Mark Cameron goes to the mark. No one can mark it. Shoveled out by Kapinnie. And there's a free kick to David Newton for holding on. Kicks it down to centre forward where Stephen Fegert goes to the ball. He misses it. Picked up by Mike Kenny. Handball onto Nelligan. Onto his brother Morris Nelligan, who kicks it down to where Bryant takes a safe mark in front of Flanagan. He kicks it on now. Right through to what a magnificent kick. Right from the half-forward flank. It was a magnificent kick from Ian Bryant. He might be 31, but he's still got a good head on him as far as football goes. Here again, Eyre United a second to the ball. They're not handing that ball with any confidence at all at this stage. Dale Cameron goes off the ball and Lindsay Henry comes onto the ball. Kapinnie seem to have more system at the present time in their play when they get the ball. Sinclair and Michael Harris go for the ruck again. There's an infringement from Kapinnie, so it's Michael Harris who takes the free kick. He kicks it over to where Jeff Phelps in front of Stephen Fegert takes the mark. He's playing a tremendous game, Jeff Phelps. He kicks it over to Luke Parsons. He misses it, but it goes over his head, and Bryant takes the mark in front of Chris Weaver. He plays on around play now. It's tapped on from Sinclair. No one can really pick up the ball. Ian Harriff's got the run of the ball. And he... it's a free kick to Kapinnie, and it is picked up by Cummins. And there's a 15-yard penalty. He's really dishing some of these out today. They're really more than 15 yards.
Well, he's got to get on control, I suppose.
The young umpire, he really has got this game under control. Cummins kicks it right through the centre. So there's another goal to Kapinnie, who takes them on to 7 goals 3, 45 points to Eyre United 2 goal 2, 14 points. Yes, Kapinnie are getting that ball out of centre again. Time and time again, they're really first to the ball. And our fellas really have to, the Eyre United players really have to pick their game up at this stage.
Down goes the bounce. Sinclair opposed to Harris. Harris gets the toil across to Henry. Gets a small handball and keeps the ball in front of him. He is caught, heavily brought down, but gets across to his teammate in Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald onto Newlands. He gets it across to Mike Harris. He slips over the vault of time. Young Newland. He has one bounce. He's going to be met by Turnbull. Gets a long handball and an FAD, and the players come in for a little bit of a punch up, and it's on here again, and I think he's been taking the ball off him, and I think it pays to shut up and say nothing in these skirmishes, because Turnbull is going to be awarded another kick downfield, and I think the players are starting to lose their cool a bit on the Saints side, and the umpires are not taking any nonsense from them today, as yes. Turnbull's kick comes down to the wing, where you'll find Grant Nelligan takes a well-judged mark over his head. Nelligan handballs across to Phelps. Phelps will have to get rid of this one pretty quick, and he's put down heavily off the ground, but the players continue to play on as it creeps up into to the pocket, and the players it's forced out of bounds at half forward flank for the Tigers. Players starting to lose their cool on the United side, but it's Sinclair close to Harris. No one really wins the toss. It comes down to Cummins, the ball is held to him, and umpire Nagel says, I'll have another bounce, and he comes into a bounce. Sinclair opposed to Harris again. Sinclair gets a tap across to Green, who spills it. Henry comes in heavily. Ball on the ground again, and umpire has seen a free kick in that one, and Lindsay Henry, the male medalist for 1985, will take the free kick. His kick goes up to the centre ground, looking for his captain and Stephen Fegert, but he overruns the ball. Jeff Phelps has played a brilliant game. He swings back onto his right leg, whereas Henry and Sinclair, but Henry outreaches the big fella. He's a brilliant footballer and he's magic. And it goes up to centre half forward, where a well-judged mark has been taken by Shane Nelligan. Nelligan will relieve the pressure for the Tigers. He is taking plenty of time to see where he's going to kick. He's an awkward style, but it's effective. Comes down to the centre wing. Players fly for it. Cameron comes through. He loses the ball. Boots come in, and Nelligan will receive another free kick. He played a top game last week, Grant Nelligan. His kick comes up to Jeff Cummins. He'll have to get rid of this one pretty quick. I think he is caught holding the ball. Not much talking there between the two young Kapinnie players that time, and Cummins as Flanagan goes away, swings back into his right foot, looking for his captain in Fegert, but Kim Green jumps in front of him, and Fegert getting a little bit frustrated there, I think, and it's Kim Green who will put the Tigers into attack. He's looking for his full forward in Tom Phelps, who takes a good mark on his chest. He's a long way from home, but he swings out to the left leg. He's looking for his centre half forward and Stephen Pate. He is met heavily by Harrowfield was offending player. Stephen Pate comes in for his kick. It's a long torpedo punt, but it's offline. Green, Dorizzi picks up the crumbs. He gets out to Newland, and he's on the half-back line for Eyre United. Here's a high kick. It goes to the outer side of the ground where it's Kim Green all on his own. He dropped it, and he dropped his head, and he dropped the ball at the same time. But he gets a punch across to Nelligan, who is met solidly there by that Weaver. Sinclair picks the ball up. He gets it across to Cunningham, but it was a loose handball, and there's a scrimmage forms at just forward of centre half of centre for the Tigers. Umpire Nagel bounces the ball. Eyre United player in Harris gets it across to Danny Baldacera. Cummins is there, but it was over. Flanagan will pick this ball up. He dodges. He gets a handball across to his mate, and Tom Flanagan back to his Flanagan again. He gets a short pass up to Stephen Fegert. That was good play. He plays on to young Newland. Newland doesn't know what to do. I think he's caught holding the ball, says the umpire. And the Tigers are really tackling fiercely here this afternoon. Kenny gets a handball across to Phelps. Phelps with a long handball across to Shane Nelligan. Shane Nelligan will have to kick it hurriedly. It's a wobbly old kick. It goes down to the half-back line. And Newland's first there in front of Bryant. He gets a hurried kick back into Henry territory. Henry, the brilliant footballer, he lines them up from 40 yards, and that was a great goal. He's magic. He's magic, this guy. And he's only 19. What's he going to be like in 2 or 3 years' time? He's deadly around the goals. 30 metres, and he's dangerous. Perhaps you could tell us something about where you recruited these guys from, David.
Most of the Aboriginal boys come from Western Australia originally. Young Lindsay Henry did play for South Perth at one stage, and in the B grade, but he's come over to Port Lincoln, and that's where we actually recruited him from. And these other lads have come up from Port Lincoln as well. Probably if we didn't have these boys up from Port Lincoln, we wouldn't be able to have 2 teams, Mike. We're struggling a little bit for numbers out there, and so we've had to recruit some of these players up from Port Lincoln.
I think everybody's in the same position. Kapinnie last year recruited heavily, and they won a premiership, and I think it's a few more clubs probably have to do the same thing to survive.
Yes, I think that's right too, Mike. Harris and Sinclair go. Sinclair gets the knock. Picked up by Danny Baldacera, who kicks it down to centre half forward where nobody can mark the ball. Howe drops the ball, picked up by Shane Harris. Caught for holding the ball. Yes, he tried to duck back, whereas if he kicked on the left foot, he would have been right. Kicks it out to where Mark Rosie drops the ball. Takes a heavy bump from Neil Fitzgerald. Ball's bouncing around. Picked up by Kapinnie. Now Mark Cameron has the ball on his left foot up to centre half forward, and he kicks it up to where Shane Harrison. It's 2-on-1 there. Picked up by Toombul, handballed it out. Mike Kenny gets the ball, but he's knocked over as he kicks the ball, and it goes out of bounds on the half forward flank for Eyre United. Ball's thrown in. Stephen Fiat goes with the ball with Sinclair. Sinclair pushes it in front of him. He kicks it off the ground. The ball comes down to where Cunningham gets the ball, keeps it in front of him, gets his kick down now. There's a penalty now downfield where number 5 in Parsons. Haven't seen much of him. Goes across to centre half forward where nobody can mark the ball. Dale Cameron picks up the ball, and he's held without possession. There's a trip as well. He gets another kick. Picked up by Shane Dorizzi, who kicks it down to where David Newland takes the ball on the wing, kicks it into centre half forward, looking for Stephen Fegert, who takes a great mark. He plays on, looking for Shane Harris, but it's knocked away from him. Picked up by Myers, who kicks it out into the half-back line, where Nelligan goes to the ball and is tackled by young Henry, but the ball goes out of bounds and is throwing in. Stephen Fegert and goes to the knock. Picked up by Lindsay Henry, but his kick is marked by Toombul, who kicks it back to the wing area where the ball is smothered, and is a free kick to Neil Fitzgerald for over the shoulders. Neil Fitzgerald's got the ball now. A left foot kick off the side of the boot. Cunningham drops the ball. The ball's pushed on, picked up by Nelligan, picked up by Michael Harris. And Michael Harris gets a free kick for over the shoulders. He's at centre half forward. He won't make the distance, but he can kick it right into the square. Yes, it's a good kick right into his brother. His brother goes to the mark, but Jeff Phelps beats him again to the mark. He handballs on to Turnbull, who kicks it down to Kenny, who takes the mark. It's down the half of the wing area, where Nelligan picks up the ball. He's tackled out, but it's tackled too high, and there's a free kick on the wing to Grant and Nelligan. Two Nelligan boys are really playing a good game. Grant and Morris. Even Shane's playing a good game. Ball goes down to the half-forward line where Paul Parsons drops the ball. Picked up by Kim Green, who drops the ball again. Fred Pickett goes after it, but the ball beats him out over the boundary. Ball is thrown in on the wing. Ollie Flanagan goes forward, doesn't get the ball, and the ball scrimmaging around. No one can really pick up the ball, and it's going to be bounced down by Kim Spackman, the umpire. Actually, the umpires are doing a great job, I think, Mike, so far. They've really got control of the game. There's a knock by Michael Harris, but it goes across to Tom Phelps. He kicks it down to the half-forward flank, but there it is picked up by Chris Weaver. Tom Flanagan takes a great mark in the centre over Danny Borders here. Kicks out to the half-forward line where nobody can mark it. Shane DeRizzi's the first one to the ball. No, he doesn't get a free kick there, Mike. Could have been a push in the back, but he doesn't get it. The ball goes down, picked up by Rosie, handballs it over to Rodney Green, who kicks it down to the forward pocket where Morris Nelligan takes an easy mark in front of his opponent. He's on a bit of an angle, and he shoots for goal, but the umpire puts one hand behind his back, so that indicates 1 point. So that's another point to Kapinnie. Takes them on to 7 goals 4, 46 points, to Eyre United 3 goals 2, 20 points. Ball goes out from Brian Fegert, marked by Mark Cameron, down to the wing, where David Newland takes a good mark. He plays on. Neil Fitzgerald takes a mark. He handballs on to David Newland, who is running through that wing area. He has a kick. Shane Harris goes for the ball, but it's knocked away from him and goes out over the boundary line. No, it looks like, yes, there's a free kick to Shane Harris. Must have been over the shoulders. He tries a short pass to Lindsay Henry, but it doesn't come off, and the ball goes out of bounds on the half-forward line for Eyre United. No one really gets the knock. Picked up by Tom Phelps, who kicks it down. He kicks it down to where picked up by Nelligan again, cross to Parsons, and a short pass down to nobody in particular marks it. Shane DeRizzi goes over the ball, doesn't get a free kick, handballed out. DeRizzi goes in after it again, kicking the ball in front of him. Nobody can really pick up the ball. Bryant's in there, he picks up the ball with a left foot kick, and Brian Fegert misses it. It's pushed ahead from by Anthony Borders here, who is keeps the ball in front of him. The ball scrimmaged around on the half-forward line for Kapinnie. No one really can pick it up, and it's pushed out of bounds on the half-forward line for Kapinnie.
17 minutes into the second quarter as the ball is thrown in on the half-forward line for the Tigers. It's Harrifield gets a hurried kick out to the half-back line where it's fisted along by Cameron. Phelps will be first there. He didn't really want the ball. It's Cameron again, but Nelligan intercepts it and gets a handball across to Mark Marnie. Across to Graham Cunningham. That was well done. He was looked for young Parsons. That he has a fit of the fumbles, but he recovers. He looks for his brother in Luke. It's a bit too high of him. There's a free kick to Harrifield for hanging on. I think the Tigers are using the ball a little bit better than the Saints at the moment, but the game is yet young, pretty young at this stage. It's a good kick. It comes out to the half-back line. Where, yes, a strong mark there by the captain and Fegert. And Marnie won't come back on the mark, but Spackman says, right, I'll give you another 15. He certainly dishes out the 15-metre penalty kicks. But it's... I think we
that went off, and they thought it was
a miss hit, that one, and I think they might have penalised Eyre United because they had the ball in their possession at that stage. But he's going to bounce the ball. Marnie opposed to Harris, but Newling, but he has the ball robbed of him. Tom Phelps picks up. He gets a high kick, doesn't go anywhere, and Bryant opposed to Weaver takes a great mark. He's played a very good game, Weaver, on the half-back back flank there, and his kick goes up to the wing. Players battle for it on the ground. And Cameron, he has one bounce. He will have to kick it. He kicks it up to the full field area where it's Harris and Howell. Harris is out marking this occasion. And he gets across to Kenny, gets a hurry kick down to the half-back flank, but it's 3-1, and it's Rosie against 3 United, but it's young Newland will pick the ball up. He swings it around the back of his shoulder and he finds young Dale Cameron. These Camerons are good footballers too.
25 metres out, I think.
Yeah, he'll be about 25 to 30 metres out. He's kicking into a slight breeze, but it's not much to worry about. He's taking plenty of time over his kick. He comes in now. Yes, that's a straight through the centre, and that takes the Saints on to 4-2. They're 26. They trail Kapinnie at 7-4-46. We've played about 20 minutes of this second term.
Yes, the ball comes back to the centre again. The umpire, Kim Spackman, is just going to bounce the ball. There's an infringement in the square. No, I don't think anybody really... No, I don't think it was an infringement in the square.
I think the umpire's a bit on edge.
Yeah, I think the umpire's a bit nervous. I think at this stage they're not really quite sure what's going. Comes down to where Mark Rosie taps the ball on. Ian Harrifel stops him in his tracks. Ball scrimmaging on the ground. Picked up by Danny Balderson, who comes out and kicks a left foot kick across to Mark Cameron, who taps the ball in front of him, picks it up. Handballs across to Andrew Newland, and he drops the ball. Bryant taps the ball on. Mark Rosie picks up the ball, kicks it down to the wing area, and there's Paul Parsons takes a good falling mark. He kicks it across to centre half forward, where Kim Green takes a good mark in front of Fred Pickett. Not a great lot of movement in the forward line for Kapinnie. A missed kick comes off. Whoops. Picked up by Kapinnie, number 8. He drops the ball. Really scrambling football there, and the umpire's going to take it, and he's going to ball it about 15 metres out from the Kapinnie goal. Ball comes out, scrimmage on the ground. Durizzi takes the ball through the points, and that's another point to Kapinnie. Takes it on to 7-5 to Eyre United 4-2. Each team has kicked 2 goals this quarter, and the game is very tight. There's a pass out to Stephen Fegert, who misses the mark. Picked up by Chris Weaver, passes it off to Danny Borders here, who dodges around his opponent, kicks it down, where Mark Cameron takes the mark as it comes off the foot of Turnbull. Bevan Pugsley's on. I'll mess it up in a minute if they don't look out. It's in the half-forward line for Eyre United, but they should have actually played on. They taken the mark instead of messing around with the handball. Bevan Pugsley's on, and Andrew Newland's off. A nice knock by Fred Pickett across to Danny Borders here. It's kicked off the ground by Mark Rosie, and it goes out of bounds on the half-forward line for Eyre United. Nelligan gets the ball, keeps it in front of him. Handballs across to Mark Rosie, who kicks it down to the half-forward line, where Parsons and Ollie Flanagan takes... Oh, no, he didn't pay it. I thought it was a great mark by Ollie Flanagan, but he didn't pay it. Shane DeRizzi picks up the ball now. Kicks it back. Oh, that's a terrible kick out of bounds on the full. That's unforgivable, really, Mike, when no one's by you. That's right. The pass goes across to Bryant, who kicks it down to the forward line, where it is Stephen Pake, who picks up the ball, snaps around his shoulder. And yes, it's a goal. Yes, a great snap by Stephen Pake. He's playing a great game there at centre half forward and across that half forward line. Yes, that was a tremendous snap, a right foot snap. And that takes the score now to Kapinnie 8-5 to 53 points to Eyre United 4-2, 26 points. The ball's back at the centre again. Yes, the bounce goes down with Sinclair and Michael Harris going for it. Sinclair gets the mark, gets the tap, and Nelligan gets a free kick for over the shoulders. Kicks it down to centre half forward, where Kim Green goes for the mark, misses it. Fred Pickett goes after him. Kim Green taps it on, goes to Nelligan, who kicks it down to where Brian misses the mark. Weaver gets hold of it, handballs it across to David Newland, who hand passes to nobody in particular. Ian Harrifield and Nelligan go for it. Ian Harrifield is in front at this stage, and he picks up the ball. His kick is smothered. He's still after it. There's two of them, and he's still trying to get that ball. And the umpire now is going to ball it up. We've been going 25 minutes at this stage. We're on to the time on now. There's a tap from Sinclair. Pake, who kicks it right down to the goal, and has bounced right through the goals. That's another great goal by Stephen Pake again. He's really playing a good game there. We're losing. Eyre United are actually losing there at the half-back line. They're a bit too agile at this stage, I think, Mike, for the Eyre United players.
Yes. Actually, the Tigers are using the ball a lot better, and I think Eyre United are a little bit frustrated at this stage. I didn't realise that the tackling of the Tigers was so fierce, but it's back in the centre. Sinclair opposed to Harris. No one gets the ball, but it's Green will get the ball across to Paul Parsons. He heads out to the flank. He's looking for Stephen Pake. Stephen Pake will be first there. He's got no one to support him, though. Now he has. He's got Cunningham. Cunningham dodges one player, kicks the ball into the forward pocket, where two Eyre United fellas fly for it, and they spoil each other. Young Parsons gets across to Green, who is tackled very solidly there in the goal square. And that was a good tackle there from the two Eyre United players. Young Cunningham, I think, isn't it? Yes, Cunningham was met solidly over there. Yes, he might have done something damage there. As the ball comes out, the ball to see him misses that one. There was a heavy one by Green. He tried to come through there, but that was not on, said the umpire. So DeRizzi, he will relieve the pressure for the Eyre United side. His kick comes out to the half-back line, where it is Cameron gets a hurried handball across to his brother in Mark. In turn, it's the pressure is applied there, and that comes out to the Kapinnie player in Nelligan. He lines up for the goals, but it's Andy Baldacere all back there on his own and takes a safe mark. He's a pretty safe back pocket player. Yes, I think he might have got a corky thigh at that stage, young Graham Cunningham. As the ball is relayed out to the half-back line, but it's Bryant. He's going to head for home. What's he done with it? Just offline. One finger, so that takes the score along to 9-6-60 to the Eyre United side, 4-2-26. We have played something like 28 minutes as Jeffrey Cummings will take over from Graham Cunningham. Brian Fegert brings the ball out to the centre half-back position, and it's Flanagan picks the ball up, takes it across the top and looking for Stephen Fegert. Has to bend a bit too much for him. He's a big fellow, and Phelps is finally legged by and Phelps dodges and weaves and finally gets a kick down to the wing position where it is spilt by Newland, and there goes a half-time siren, and where the score is Kapinnie Tigers are 9-6-60, leading the Eyre United 4-2-26. The goal kickers at this stage for the Tigers have been one each to Bryant Green, that's Rodney Green, Kim Green, Stephen Paker's 3, and Luke Parsons has 1, Neil Phelps 1, and Jeffrey Cummings has also 1. For the Eyre United side, Lindsay Henry, the male medalist, has kicked 2, also 1 to Shane Harris and Dale Cameron.
Mike, your best players for Kapinnie at this stage?
Well, I'd have to say Jeff Phelps hasn't put a foot wrong, but there's been numerous players. There's the little players like the Nelligan boys, young Luke Parsons and Cunningham till he was injured. They all played very well. Yeah, Shane Nelligan.
Came into his own in the last few minutes.
Yes,
there.
And they've played pretty well,
as
I
a
thought.
team.
You know,
I think they've played as a team, Mike. I think
used the ball well.
Yeah, they've used the ball, and I think they're really playing as a team.
Yeah.
And that's it. And well, for Eyre United, I think. Probably our best player could be David Newland. I think on the wing. I think Dave has played a good game.
Yes, and I also like the guy on the half-back flank, and Weaver. I reckon he's played a very good
Chris
game.
is very solid, isn't he? Very solid there on the half-back flank.
Henry's been in and out the game. He's kicked 2
goals.
Yes,
he really hasn't been able to get his run on at this stage, and I think that Eyre United will be looking for a lot more from him, and I think from most players they're looking for a lot more effort in this next half. 5 metres out from goal, only on a very slight angle. He's taking his time as he lines up the goals. There's a nice kick. Yes, I think it's just scraped through. Yes, that's another goal to Kapinnie, takes them on to 11 goals 6, 72 to Eyre United, 4 goal 2, 26 points. Well, in the centre again, where Ray Nagel's just going about a good bounce. Sinclair and Michael Harris. Michael Harris gets the tap down to where Shane. I think it's a technical. So I don't think there was really anything in that. The ball comes back to where Jeff Phelps takes the kick from right in the centre of the ground. They're sorting themselves up here in the half-forward line. Yes, there's a good pass there, trying to find his brother Tom, but it comes through, and David Newman picks up the ball again on the wing, kicks it down to where Stephen Figg goes to the mark, and he gets the free kick. And he plays on around his left foot. He has a pass out to where Neil Fitzgerald goes to the ball. Bevan Pugsley taps the ball back. Neil Fitzgerald picks up the ball now, has a snapshot into the half-forward line, but there again is Jeff Phelps, who takes another great mark in front of the pack. Eyre United really have to do something to control Jeff Phelps back there on the half-back line. Mike, I think he's just really playing one of probably his best game for the year, I think.
Yes, he sort of lifted himself.
Nelligan picks up the ball, kicks it down to where Chris Weaver takes a good mark in front of Ian Bryan. He's looking for someone, nobody's really moving. There goes the ball down to the half-forward line where Stephen Figg tries to take a mark but doesn't take it. And someone's down for Eyre United. He's down. I think it's Lindsay Henry's down on the ground. The ball's coming down to the wing where Shane Nelligan picks up the ball. He's tackled, loses the ball, picks it up again, handballs it on to nobody in particular. Tries to kick it off the ground. The ball's still going on the ground. Weaver picks up the ball, handballs it on to where Dale Cameron picks up the ball. Down to the half-forward line, but there, Mike Kenny picks up the ball in front of Stephen Figg. Mike Kenny has a kick down to it, comes down to the wing where there's a big pack forms. No one can really mark it. The ball's on the ground. Ian Harriford dives on the ball and he tries to get the ball out, but Shane Nelligan's on top of him and the ball isn't able to come out. There's a bounce down on the wing. The ball goes down. Picked up by Nelligan. He handballs it to nobody in particular. Ian Harriford kicks it off the ground. Neil Fitzgerald picks it up. Handballs it over to Ollie Flanagan, who now is on his left foot. He kicks it back into the centre half forward, where Mark Cameron takes a good mark in front of number 14 and Howe. He passes it over to his brother Dale, who is probably only about 10 metres closer, but he's right in front. He and I really need a goal now. He's a long way out. He's a long way out, but he's usually quite a good kick. That's off the side of the boot, and nobody marks it, and is out of bounds on the full. Coach Alexander now really has to pull something out of the bag, I think, Mike, for Eyre United at this stage. I'm not really quite sure what he can do, but...
Yes, I think the Tigers just playing too well. I don't think he can do much about it.
The ball comes up to the half-forward line for Eyre United and goes out of bounds. Looks like we've got a Port Adelaide supporter on the ground. It's a black and white dog. He's just running around the half-forward line there as the ball is scrimmaged there on the half-forward line for Eyre United. The bounce down. Nobody really in particular gets the knock. Dale Cameron picks up the ball, has a left foot shot into the full forward area where the ball is knocked around, where Shane Harris picks up the ball. He loses the ball. Picked up by Nelligan. He loses the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds in the around from the forward pocket for Eyre United. Stephen Fear gets the knock. Picked up by Nelligan. Stephen Fear grabs the ball again. He handballs it over to Mark Cameron, who's pushed, and the ball goes out of bounds. A very scrimmagey part of the play at the present time. Nobody can really get advantage. Stephen Fear takes the ball out of the air and kicks it forward, but nobody in particular can mark it, and the ball goes out of bounds again, further around the forward pocket for Eyre United. Jeff Phelps takes the ball out of the air. Plenty of time to turn around and have a good look at where he can kick the ball. Grant Nelligan goes to the ball. He's pushed off the ball. Mark Rosie as well, and the ball goes out of bounds on the half-forward line for Eyre United. Nobody really gets the tap. Tom Phelps gets a left foot kick down to the wing, where Chris Weaver knocks the ball forward, and nobody can really pick up the ball. Chris Weaver picks up the ball, but nobody can get advantage, and the ball is in the centre, is going to be bounced just about in the centre of the ground. Bounce goes down. Sinclair and Harris again. Handball from Tom Phelps over to his brother Jeff, who kicks it down to where Bryant takes the mark. And Bryant takes a good mark on the half-forward line. Ball is in the half-forward line, picked up by Shane DeRizzi. Handballs it over to Baldassi, who kicks it back into the centre, where Michael Harris takes a good mark. And he plays on, turns around to the wing, where Dale Cameron takes a good mark running with the ball. He kicks it down to where Lindsay Henry takes an excellent mark in front of his opponent in Myers. Tries to play on. The ball is scrambled around. And yes, it's holding the ball against Lindsay Henry. He tried to play on them, but it was Mike Kenny who got him, and he couldn't get away. Ball comes down to where Tom Phelps handballs it across to Kim Green, who has another handball on to Jeff Phelps, who turns around, has plenty of time to kick the ball down to the centre half forward area, where Brian Feig is playing a good game. He kicks it back to really out in the open. There's nobody there for Eyre United, and Grant Nelligan picks the ball up, has a kick down to the forward pocket, and that's where Rodney Green takes the mark, around about 40 metres out on a very sharp angle.
I think Green's playing full forward, isn't he?
Yes, I think he might be, Mike, and there's a very good pass to his brother Kim. He's Not much closer, but he's on a better angle. Sinclair's off and Marnie's back on again. Kim Green has a kick for goal, but I think the umpire's put one hand behind his back, and that's another point to Kapinnie. Takes him on to 11 goals 7, 73 to Eyre United 4 goal 2, 26. Eyre United haven't scored as yet in this quarter, Mike, and they really have to do some scoring. Ball comes out to where Neil Fitzgerald takes it, kicks it down to Stephen Fagan, who takes a great mark on the wing with two opponents trying to knock the ball away from him. He handballs it back to Fitzgerald, who gets upended. He handballs out to where nobody really can get hold of the ball. Tom Flanagan picks up the ball, handballs it down to Stephen Fagan, who crashes his way through. Mike Harris now picks up the ball across to Mark Cameron, who's on his own. He kicks it over to Bevan Pugsley, who takes a mark in the forward pocket. He handballs it back to Mark Cameron, and Mark Cameron now lines up the goals with his left foot. Has a kick. And I think, yes, he's got it. What a great goal there, Mike, from Mark Cameron. He's on his wrong foot, and he kicks it through. So that takes Eyre United now to 5 goals 2, 32 to Kapinnie 11 goals 7, 73. And that's Mark Cameron's first goal.
41 points of difference here in the third quarter, the 1985 grand final. Umpire Kim Spackman comes in for the bounce, a nice bounce. Marnie opposes to Fegert. Fegert gets the ball across to Pickett. Pickett swings onto the left leg. His ball goes out to the half-forward line where it's Pugsley and Fitzgerald. But Turnbull comes away with it. He finds his teammate in Jeff Cummins. Cummins onto the right foot, goes long, but Doritzi is first to the ball, and he picks the ball up. He tries a check side kick, and it comes straight to Nelligan. Nelligan, in turn, looking for his teammate in Luke Parsons. Parsons will have to get rid of it quick. What's a top tackle that was? Phelps picks up and recovers. Baldaccia loses the ball. Green comes with it, but it's a scrambly passage of play right in the centre half forward position of the Kapinnie goals. Umpire comes in and says he'll bounce it. Kapinnie's lead still 41 points. It's a pretty good handy lead at this stage, but I got the feeling that Eyre United are ready to come back at any stage. Very scrambly play in the forward line of the Tigers goals. Players on the ground, pushed out by Eyre United. Coming through is Weaver, but Pake picks up nicely, gets it across to Brian. I tell you what, this doesn't look too bad. In the goal square, Parsons onto the wrong leg. I think he snapped a goal. Yes, Luke Parsons. That was great play by the little fella. Yes, and Parsons has kicked his second goal. And the Tigers go on to that 47-point lead. It's a handy lead at this stage. Jeffrey Phelps playing a great game on that half-back line, and there's nothing got past this player. Probably his experience.
He's limping a little bit in the back pocket.
Yes, and probably Phelps' experience at Port Adelaide is sort of coming in handy at this stage, because he knows all about these big-time games. Good bounce to Relief. Henry gets a handball across to Cameron, takes one bounce, swings onto the left leg, gets down to the half-forward line. Turnbull opposed to Pugsley, comes out the back. Phelps again gets a handball across to Turnbull. Turnbull out to the wing, will look for Paul Parsons, finding that player. Young Paul Parsons at centre wing, out of side the ground. Nice kick up to Morris Nelligan. Morris Nelligan will swing around onto the left leg, looking for his brother in Grant. He is met heavily by Henry, but it's Grant Nelligan's free kick. And what a game this fella played last week. If it hadn't been for him, I think Yolanda would have been playing the Saints today. Here comes the lead from Kim Green. It's a beautiful pass. He is met heavily by Pickett, and he just awarded a 15. My word, these are good 15-metre penalties. And what's going on now? I think that's brought Kim Green within probably 25 metres from goal. Kim Green has already kicked one goal. He's a top player, this fellow. He's a very spectacular player, and he's usually a very good kick. His lines up. It's a very deliberate kick, and it's through the goal. There's his second kick, and that's his second goal for Kim Green.
Andrew Newland on and Neil Fitzgerald off.
Newland on and Fitzgerald off.
Fitzgerald was limping, so
yes.
Has a leg problem.
Yes, and Weaver is sort of getting a bit of a rub up too. He was went through strongly there a couple of minutes ago, and he's probably hurt his hip or something too. And the Tiger camp are pretty excited. Stephen Fegert, the captain of the Saints, they have never been in a grand final, so it's obvious they've never won one, but Kapinnie looking for their second in a row. They were having back-to-back premierships. Fegert opposed to Marnie, but Fegert gets a tap out to Cameron. Cameron juggles the ball out to the wing area. He's still in control, but overruns it on this occasion. He comes through, young Newland off the ground, but goes to no one. But here's the Henry. Here's Mr. Magic. He kicks it down to the half-forward line where it's thumped away by Turnbull. Shane Elligan's going to be first there, but he goes to ground. But it's Henry again. He's like a wombat, this fella. He's burrows in, but the ball comes out to the Kapinnie player. Gets the ball up to the wing. Paul Parsons first there. Oh, he's met heavily by Flanagan, but his kick has got to Bryant. Bryant swings around to the right leg. It's a wobbly old kick, but Pickett's first there. He will recover, and he gets it onto the left leg. And he finds Flanagan. Flanagan picks up the ball. He has one bounce. He's going in, swings into the centre half-forward position, and Ollie marks it just forward of centre. His high kick goes into the full forward area. Turnbull thumps the ball out to Harris. He gets a quick kick. It looks pretty straight from here. I think it's a goal. Oh, what is it? No, it's touched by the Kapinnie player, but Pugsley picks the ball up. He has an airy. Turnbull picks the ball up. He goes for the safety of the boundary line, and the ball will be thrown in Eyre United's forward pocket. My word, the Tigers are really putting the pressure on the Saints, and they're making all sorts of mistakes down there. The ball comes out to Myers. He swings onto the left leg, but it's going to be Harris all on his loan at centre half forward. This is Michael Harris. He's had a fair bit of experience. He played with the Boston club last year, I believe, and his group goes into the full forward area, but there's that man again. Jeff Phelps, he gets the handball across to Mark Marnie. Looks for his teammate and Cummins, but Flanagan intercepts that play, and he dodges around one player, gets a small kink into his brother again. In Ollie. Ollie probably at the true centre half forward position would probably be 50 metres from goal. He goes for a short kick. Who's he looking for? Newland gets up high, and I think the umpire's paid. That was a mighty effort there by the youngster. He would be only 25 metres out from goal, directly in front. And he comes. It looks all right off the boot. I think it's straight through the centre. And there goes Eyre United. They've put their 6th goal on the board. Is that right? 6
goals.
6 goals, that's 38. Plays 85.
Eyre United need a few more of those goals. That was David Newland who kicked that ball. He's playing on the wing, and he moved down there very nicely. The ball's back at centre again with Ray Nagel. He bounces it with Stephen Fegert in the ruck with young Marnie. And Marnie gets the ball, the knock, and Nelligan picks up the ball. He kicks it down to centre half forward where Shane DeRizzi misses the ball. Picked up by Fred Pickett. He dodges around, gets onto his left foot, and kicks it down to the wing where Danny Baldus here picks up the ball very nicely on the first bounce. He kicks it down to centre half forward area where Mark Cameron takes a good mark in front of his opponent. Goes down to where Michael Harris takes a good mark, and gets a bit of attention from the man behind him, and he takes a really great mark. Very high kick into the forward line. Turnbull picks up the ball, kicks it out to the flank area where the ball runs out of bounds. Turnbull's playing a very good game back there, Mike. Very solid, and he's turning the Saints back time and time again. Ball comes in. Jeff Phelps picks up the ball, handballs it over to Noby in particular. The ball's kicked up where Danny Baldus here takes a mark on the half-forward flank. He's taking his time, has a big kick right into the centre half-forward area where the ball is knocked forward by Jeff Phelps, picked up by Kim Green, who has run too far and holding the ball. The ball is very quickly picked up and taken back to the goal area where again Turnbull kicks it out and the ball runs out of bounds again. The ball's thrown in again. Jeff Phelps picks up the ball again. He gets around, but he's caught, and I think he's caught for holding the ball. Yes, he's pinned that time, and Bevan Pugsy takes the kick. Oh, what a terrible kick, and it's kick to Kim Green. He handballs it on to another Kapinnie player who kicks it down to where Bryant and Andrew Newland go for the ball, and there's a free kick to Bryant, who plays on, and he's put down, and Fred Pickett comes in. He knocks the ball forward, but he's scragged without the ball, and he gets a free kick. There's a big kick from Pickett right down to where nobody really in Ayr United goes to the ball, and it's, the mark is taken by Howe. He's taking his time. He's taking his time as he kicks it down to the wing area, where was a great mark by Michael Harris over the top of young Marnie. He kicks it down to where he's looking for Stephen Feger, but Jeff Phelps comes in, doesn't take the mark, tries to barge his way through, handballs it, picked up by Danny Borders here, who gets a kick down to the wing area where there's nobody in particular for Ayr United. Dale Cameron bumps off the Kapinnie player, picked up by young Mike Kenny, and the ball goes out of bounds. Ball's thrown in again. Ian Harrifield goes to the knock, but nobody takes the knock. The ball was tapped on again, but nobody really in particular wants it. Nelligan goes in, has the ball, and he tries a little kick, but doesn't do it. His brother gets it, taps it over to Howell, who handballs it over to Mark Rosie, who kicks it down to the half-forward line, where Tom Flanagan takes a great mark at centre-half back. Shane DeRizzi gets the handball. Another handball over to Chris Weaver, who does a terrible kick along the wing. But Andrew Newland's the first one to recover and gets the ball. He kicks it down to where Peter Gray takes a good mark in front of his opponent in Nelligan. He's usually a good kick, Peter Gray. He kicks it down to where where Ollie Flanagan takes it off the pack and he puts it right through the centre. And that's another goal to the Saints. Takes them on to 7 goals, 2. 44 to Kapinnie, 13 goals, 7, 85. They're still 41 points behind, and that's a lot of leeway to catch up. And that was Ollie Flanagan's first goal, and ball was bounced again, where Marnie gets the knock. Ian Harrifield takes the ball. Comes down to Jeff Phelps, who takes the ball. He's caught. He goes over to Shane Nelligan. Nobody in particular can get it. Mark Rosie kicks it off the ground, and there's a race for the ball, and the ball goes over the boundary line before anybody can get it.
minutes.
27 minutes gone in this quarter. The ball comes over the back where Jeff Phelps takes it. He shrugs off an attack. He handballs it over to Paul Parsons, who kicks it over to where Ian Bryant and Andrew Newland and Chris Weaver. Chris Weaver takes a handball onto David Newland. Bit of a fumbling match here. And David Newland comes out with the ball. He's really played well, David Newland, I think, today. Kicks it down to the half-forward line where nobody in particular can mark it. It's Michael Harris who gets a free kick, and he doesn't like some of the treatment. Shane Harris doesn't like some of the treatment that he's getting from some of the players. And I think, I don't know, Mike, but was that a number you think? Do you think he took his number? I don't think. No, I just noticed him tap him on the backside. I don't know whether that was what that was for, but Lindsay Henry takes a mark, kicks for goal, and no, it won't quite come around. It's another point. And so that's another point to Ayr United at 7 goals 3. 45 to Kapinnie 13-7, 85. I think Lindsay Henry has a little bit of the cramp. He quite often gets a bit of the cramp at this time of the match. There's a kick out, and it's marked by Myers. He plays on, and he kicks it down to centre half forward, but there Brian Fegert takes a... No, he misses the mark. I thought he might have paid that. He handballs it over to Tom Flanagan, who's running through the centre area. He goes down to centre half forward where he's looking for his big man in Stephen Fegert, picked up by Mark Cameron, who kicks it down to the forward, the goal square there. He's kicked off the ground by Turnbull, who's running towards the boundary, and it beats everyone over in the forward pocket for Eyre United. Can't be much time left in this quarter, Mike. It's 28 minutes gone. The ball's picked up and is lost by the Kapinnie player. It's kicked off the ground again by young Parsons, and the ball runs out of bounds on the half-forward line. Well, that's the end of the third quarter, and it's a big margin now to pick up. It's 40 points, Mike, and I really don't think that Eyre United have done enough in this match to be able to come back from 40 points down.
Actually, Eyre United haven't played as well as I thought they could. Kapinnie have used the ball extremely well. 40 points, and there's a lot to make up in 30 minutes, and I guess you'd have to lean a bit towards Kapinnie at this stage to take off the 85 flag.
Yes, I think that's right, Mike. I think that it doesn't look really good for Eyre United at this present time. It's the first time that they've ever been in a grand final, and I don't know whether it was the nerves that got to them or what it was, but they're really not playing the way that they have played over the last few matches. Well, here we are. We're starting the last quarter, and with Eyre United 40 points down, they've really got to do to lift. As Eyre United coach was coming off the ground, he was scratching his head and really not knowing what to do. The ball is down in the centre half forward area for Kapinnie, and there's going to be a bounce up. The ball's bounced down. Michael Harris goes to Chris Weaver, knocks it on. Tom Flanagan gets the ball, has one bounce, two bounces, three bounces, and he kicks it down where it's marked there by Howe in the full forward area. That was a good run by Tom Flanagan, but there's nobody there to take that kick when he kicked it down there. Ball is kicked out where Kim Green takes a good mark in front of Andrew Newlands. It's on the half-forward line for Eyre United. There's a kick, and I think it's out on the full, yes, before anyone can get it. The ball's out on the full. Very poor kick there from Kim Green. The ball's taken by Danny Baldus here. It's not a very good kick, a wobbly kick up to the area there where Shane Harris goes with the ball, and he doesn't take the ball and gets a free kick. He's a long way out from goals. I don't think he can get it from there. He has a short pass to Dale Cameron, and Dale Cameron takes a good mark in the forward pocket in front of Mark Rosie. He's about 30, 35 metres out on a very sharp angle, but he's on the right side as he is a right footer. Comes in very deliberately, has a kick, and I think, yes, I reckon, yes, a beautiful kick. No, bad luck. It was a point. I thought that was through then, Mike. It looks there from here. Yeah, looks as if it was a good kick, but it wasn't. There's a short pass out to where Mike Kenny gets it as one bounce. He handballs it onto Parsons, who handballs onto Jeff Phelps. He handballs it down again to where Nelligan handballs it on to Cummins, who kicks it down to the half-forward line. And there's a run for it here with Weaver and Bryant, and Bryant trips Weaver, and he takes a free kick at the half-back line. Played a good game on that half-back line, Chris Weaver. Goes down where David Newland picks up the ball. He tries to handball onto Mark Cameron. Mark Cameron gets it, and I think nobody's got it now. And David Newland handballs it over the pack where nobody in particular can pick it up. It's rushed forward. Michael Harris picks it up and kicks it down to the half-forward line where Myers tries to mark it. He misses it. Dale Cameron comes through the pack. Beautiful play by Dale Cameron. He dodges one player, lines them up. Yes, he's got it this time, I think. What a magnificent goal from Dale Cameron. Really, it was a great goal then, Mike. Came through the pack and he dodged one player and he lined them up correctly. And it goes through, and that gives Eyre United a start. A goal for this quarter is 8-4 to Kapinnie 13-7. They're still 34 points behind. If they can get a few goals on the board now in quick succession, they'll make a game of it. Sinclair and Michael Harris going for the knock. Dale Cameron knocks the ball forward where nobody in particular can pick it up. And there's another bounce down just the other side of centre. The ball's down. Handball from Sinclair across to Jeff Phelps, who's tackled by David Newland. The ball goes out to the wing where Shane DeRizzi follows the ball. He picks it up, turns around his right foot, kicks it over to where David Newland is coming into the wing and takes a good mark. David Newland's played a good game there on that wing. He's beaten his man on the day. And he kicks it down to where Ollie Flanagan takes a good mark in front of Sinclair. He kicks it down to where Michael Harris on the half-forward flank takes the mark, plays on, has a hurried kick, and then Lindsay Henry takes a good mark in the forward pocket. And this could be another goal to Eyre United. He's lining the ball up. No, the umpire puts one hand behind his back, and that's 1 point. So that takes Eyre United now on to another point, on to 53 points to Kapinnie 85. Ball's kicked out here onto the half-forward line for Eyre United. It's off the pack. Andrew Newland picks up the ball, has one bounce. Kicks it into the forward line where picked up by Shane Harris. He's grabbed, can't get rid of the ball. Comes out with Myers, gets the ball, kicks it down to the wing where Cummins picks up the ball. He can't get free, handballs it. David Newland picks up the ball now, kicks it back into the forward pocket where Shane Harris takes a good mark in the forward pocket. He'd be about 25 metres out. And Shane this year was the leading goal kicker in the league with 82 goals. He's kicked one goal so far. Yes, I think, yes, this is the goal. That's 2 goals to Shane Harris. And so now the Eyre United have put on 2 goals this quarter. That takes them on to 9-5. And 58 to Kapinnie 13-7, 85. So that's 26 points. They're gradually dwindling that leeway down.
26 points of difference here at the 1980 Grand Final as the ball is bounced again. Sinclair gets a tap down to Nelligan. He is tackled very hard, but it's Grant who comes in. Grant Nelligan gets a small kick up to Matt Rosie. Back to Grant Nelligan. Grant Nelligan will go steady. What's he done with it? Just offline, I think. Oh, it's a goal. It's a rapid goal. Grant Nelligan, beautiful goal. That's his first for the day. And that was good play. That was good gutsy stuff from the centre of the bounce. Yes. Actually, I thought the Saints were coming alive there, but that should steady the Tigers down just for a few moments anyhow. 32 the difference. 5 minutes have gone on this final quarter of the 1980 Grand Final. I guess Coach Bob Edmonds would be biting his fingernails up there in the box at this stage. We've got a gorilla out here, I think. Yes. No, I think the gorilla, where's he gone? Anyhow, we'll concentrate on the game. It's Cameron is pushed in the back, and that crowd is getting excited as Dale Cameron will put the Saints into attack. Kicks the ball where it's Newlands grabs it, but he misses. But it's Shane Harris, and goal. It's a goal to Harris, and the Saints are alive. That's Harris's third goal. Yes, I don't know what happened to the gorilla, but he's still out here. Yes, I don't know where he came from, but he's getting sent off by the umpire, and perhaps he's sent out to upset the opposition, perhaps. He's a mean-looking fellow too.
The police are going after him.
Yes, I think Constable Phil's just about got him now. He'd have to put him in the van. I think he'd be a big fella to put in. But it's football. We are concentrating on the football. And Eyre United has snuck back to that 26-point deficit. As Sinclair comes in opposed to Fig. Comes to ground. It's come out to Nelligan, who has pulled off the ball. A very scrambly play as umpire Nagel comes in, and we'll have a bounce on the centre wing. The crowd has come alive here at the Cummins Oval. They can sense that I can get back. Sinclair's kept, but very scrambly football here in the centre of the ground. Parsons gets the ball out to Grant Nelligan, who is met heavily there by Doretzi, and Paul Parsons has kept the ball in play. Clever stuff by the youngster, and he is getting some harsh treatment there from Flanagan. And boundary umpire will throw the ball in the forward pocket for the Tigers. Up they go. Harrifield gets a thump over the back. Comes out to Weaver. Weaver onto Flanagan. Flanagan's got plenty of pace. He is turned around, but it's Weaver. Play a very untidy play at the stage as Harrifield gets a small kick. It goes straight to Sinclair. What's he going to do with it? He puts it high up into the air, but it's Brian underneath. What's he can do? He gets knocked out by Brian Figget, the veteran for the Saints. This could be his last game, but it's someone is caught with the ball. What's the umpire going to do? Free kick to Eyre United. Doretzi will relieve the pressure for the Saints. His kick goes up to Cameron. Cameron has one bounce. Gets a long handball across to his skipper and Steve Figget, and turn to Dale Hamron. And the Saints are starting to come alive as Harris gets a long handball out to Newland, the young Newland. Shane Nelligan recovers well and gets a small kick up to Luke Parsons. His kick is smothered there by Flanagan, and the ball is forced out directly in front of the telecast position here at the Cummins Oval. Tension is mounting as Eyre United, they are sensing that they can get back into this game. It comes out to Nelligan, who's held his ground. He gets a high one above the face, and the players bore into it, and she's on for young and old. There's one Nelligan on the ground, not a lot in it, but it's Grant Nelligan's free kick. He copped a heavy one to the face, and he will steady things up for the Tigers. He is showing signs of blood on the face, and he gets a small kick across to Ian Bryant, who is in the centre of the ground. Bryant gets a wobbly old kick up to the half-forward line, but then Figget drops a mark. He should never drop that one. That was an easy mark. Ball comes out. It's scrambly play. No one can seem to get a good kick at the ball. It's on the ground again. Stephen Pake's got it. He gets a hurried handball. It comes out to Brian Figget. Gets a handball out to the ground towards the boundary line, where it's picked up ball by Paul Parsons, and the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw in on the half-forward flank for the Tigers. Ball comes in.
There's a free kick from Brian Figget.
And Sinclair gets into the back of big Brian Figget. And he has given away a free kick, has he? No? I don't know what that was about. And the umpire bounced the ball. It's Figget, gets up, goes straight to Sinclair. He can't get a kick away. Comes out to Pickett. Pickett can't pick the ball up. Very scrambly play in this last quarter as tempers are starting to flare just a little. And the umpire's cool enough comes in to bounce it. They've kept well control of this game as the ball is bounced, comes to the ground again. It's very scrambly. Figget picks it up, and his kick is astray and goes out over the line where it's going to be thrown in at on the half-forward flank.
Lindsay Henry's down with a cramp.
The male medalist has got cramp, so he comes. It comes to the border. Sarah gets a long kick, and it's she's going to run.
Runs the ball through.
Phelps picks it up. What a game this bloke's play. He's going to find his drop what he should have taken. And Cameron gets handed by us to Newland, and the crowd's gone mad as Newland's kick goes right up to the full forward area as Shane Harris couldn't pick the ball up, but it's relieved by Kim Green, and it comes out to Sinclair just backward of centre wing. Sinclair, the veteran of many games, very cool in crisis, gets the ball up to half-forward flank, comes out the back. Rosie first to the ball. It gets a long handball. He's heading for the boundary line. As Flanagan's first there, he doesn't know what to do with it. He's looking for some leads from his teammates, but it goes straight to the opposition and Grant Nelligan. Grant Nelligan showing signs of bleeding from the forehead, gets the ball up to the half-forward flank where it's Pickett takes a strong mark in defence. He will relieve the pressure for the Saints. Up comes the ball to the centre wing, but it comes out the back. Free kick, says David, but it's play on, says the umpire, as Phelps comes into the game. Goes to the full forward position. Green gets a hurried handball across to Stephen Pake. Stephen Pake onto the left leg. What's he done with it? 1 point.
That's another point to Kapinnie, takes on to 14 goals 8 to Eyre United 10 goal 5. There's still time for Eyre United to win this game yet. Brian Figget kicks it out to where Anthony Balders here takes a mark. He kicks it on to Michael Harris, who drops a mark. It's picked up by Stephen Myers. He kicks it back into the centre half forward area where Shane DeRizzi takes a mark on his chest. He's going to relieve for Eyre United. Ian Bryant on the mark. He kicks it out to the wing where young Parsons takes a good mark with nobody really going with him. Young Parsons actually has played a good game, Mike. He kicks it into the centre where Nelligan marks it. Stephen Pake takes a mark. Rosie is met heavily but takes a good mark in front of Shane DeRizzi. He's a long way out from goal, but he's going to have a shot. There's a man going short. Tom Phelps, no, he's not passing off there. He's going to take a long kick, taking his time. It's a good kick right into the goal square. Oh, Brian Figget takes a good mark in front of the pack. Brian Figget takes it now right up to where... I think there's a free kick to Nelligan. I'm not really quite sure what that was for.
I think he ran into the front. He doesn't look too good, Grant.
Grant Nelligan is down on the ground. He doesn't look too good, I think. Stephen Pake's going to take the free kick. He's going to go for a long shot for a goal. Drop short. Nobody can mark it. It's on the ground. It comes out to where Tom Flanagan gets it, kicks it over to Danny Balders here, who is held. Now he plays on around his man. He kicks it up to centre half forward where no one marks the ball, and it comes out to Nelligan. He's grabbed by Mark Cameron, picked up by Parsons, who kicks it on, but it's Shane DeRizzi who takes the mark in front of his man. He plays on now, over to Andrew Newland, who misses the ball. He tries to take a one-hand mark, misses the ball. It's kicked down to the centre half forward area for Kapinnie, picked up by Brian Feed, who's playing a great game back there. Michael Harris takes a great falling mark in front of Marnie. There he kicks it. He plays on over to Shane Harris. He taps it on to Dale Cameron, who runs into an opponent, Phelps. Handball over to Shane Nelligan, who gets a free kick for being too high. Kick down to the wing area where Mike Kenny takes a good mark to relieve the situation. Goes out to the wing where Nelligan has the run of the ball. He taps it in front of him, keeps the ball going in front of him, picks it up, has a kick on his left foot, down to Bryant, who misses the mark. And a scrambling in there. Ian Bryant picks up the ball now on his left foot, kicks it over his shoulder, but there Shane DeRizzi takes a good mark in defence. He kicks it over to Ian Harrifield, who takes a mark on the half-back flank. He kicks it down to the wing area where there's a big pack forming. Nobody can mark it. Mark Cameron taps it on. Well, I think that's... I'm not really quite sure what that was for. I thought the man in front would have got the free kick, but he... No, I didn't really see that one, but it's kicked down to half-forward line where Turnbull's playing in the half-forward line. He taps the ball over to Stephen Pake. There's a good pass to Rodney Green, who is about 20 metres out from goal, just about straight in front.
Yeah, Rodney Green lining up from 15 metres out. There she goes. It's a goal. Then the Tigers, they go to 15-8. That's 98 to Eyre United 10-5-65. That's Rodney Green's second goal. Stephen Pake's kicked 3, and Neil Phelps has also kicked 3. Yes, about 20 minutes gone in the 1985 Grand Final. I don't think the Saints can get back from this stage, but I guess Coach Bob Edmondsby still biting his fingernails. Up goes the bounce. Marnie gets a tap down, but straight to DeRizzi. It's a bit high. He plays on. He gets it up to centre half forward where Harris takes. Kenny comes out with it. Cunningham drops the ball. And there's a bit of a scrimmage in the middle of the cricket pitch area, and umpire Nagel will come in for a bounce and sort the players out. Down goes the bounce. Marnie opposed to Stephen Feegett. Comes down to Newland. He's held with one arm. Comes out with Eyre United, but it's straight to Kenny. Kenny will come across ground where it's Pickett over Pickett's head, but Morris Nelligan puts a pass up to centre half forward. Players don't want it. Turnbull and Pake were waiting for each other to go for the ball, and it finished up as scrimmage. Yes, Turnbull's played a great game in the back lines, and now he's up in the forward lines. Marnie slips at the vital stage, and Harrifield is caught with the ball. Down on the ground again, but it's Pickett will get the ball out. Ball to Sears there. Parsons is there, and there's... And that was a bit tough on the youngster. He hardly had a touch of that one, and he got pinged for holding the ball. The ball comes up to the centre of the ground, and the players are met heavily there by Kenny and Feegett, but they're both up and well again. Phelps has played a great game at centre half-back. He gets a handball across to his teammate in Miles. And there's a free kick comes out of that, and I think it's Weaver on the outer side of the ground. Yeah, he's played a great game, this guy. A very solid player, and he will put the Saints into attack. It's a wobbly old kick. It falls short. Comes to ground. Who's going to be first there? It's Cunningham. He gets a handball across to no one, but Howe's there. He gets another one back to Cunningham. Cunningham back to Bryant. Bryant drops it. He is met solidly, and I think the umpire has awarded Bryant a free kick because he was tagged and didn't have the ball. he's been a fine player in his day. Ian Bryant, a veteran of many games as well. He started his football with Kapinnie as a youngster, and he went to Boston's and Port Lincoln League for a few years, and he has come back to finish his last twilight years with the Tigers. His kick goes up to centre wing, whereas a strong mark is taken by the captain of the Saints and Stephen Fegett. His ball comes back to the centre of the ground. Harris flies high. He couldn't complete the mark, but he's still got the football. It comes out to Newland. He played a good game, this young fellow, but he loses a ball, and Nelligan's kick has bounced to the centre wing, and Parsons the first one there. And he gets one from Flanagan for his troubles, but there's nothing much in that either, as he kicks it up to his brother in Paul Parsons. He gets across to full forward, but Baldacere takes a top mark. He's a fine player, Andy Baldacere, in that back pocket. Solid as a rock. He will relieve for the Saints. It comes out to the half-back line where it's big Stephen Fegett, who's played a pretty good game today also. His swings around onto the left leg, looking for Danny Baldacere, but it overruns that player, but he's still there. He's battled his heart out all day, and a ball comes to ground Newland, but Nelligan gets the ball out with the left leg, and it's Parsons should be here, and Gray fight for the position, and young Luke Parsons is met solid, and he gets pushed out over the line. Ball in, centre wing. Baldacere gets a tap over the back, goes to Nelligan, who has played a great game also. The bounce will favour Rosie on this occasion, but just a bit too quick for that player. Yes, it's time's ticking on now. I don't think the Saints can get out of this one. Fegett opposes to Marnie, comes through to Cameron, drops the ball, and he is pinged for dropping the ball. Mark Marnie, the interchange player for the Rucks, will put the Tigers into attack. It goes down to the centre half forward position. Big Stephen Fegett flies high, but he cannot complete the mark, and it's Tom Phelps comes out with the ball. He's looking for his centre half forward, comes over the back to Paul Parsons, but I think his kick's offline, and it goes towards the boundary line, and it dribbles out over the boundary line. Well, I guess the Tigers haven't beaten Eyre United for this year, but it looks like they're going to have their first win, and the vital one that counts today. It comes to Bryant. He gets a handball across to Grant Nelligan. He's played a gutsy game of football today. He's still there battling. Comes across to Cunningham. He lines up for the goals, and whereas it comes over the back as Baldacere will come away with the ball if it bounces right for him. He gets the bounce now.
Kick back into the centre, but there's no one there to really take it, and it's picked up by Marnie, who kicks it back to the half-forward flank, and the mark is taken there by Tom Phelps. I think time's running out now, Mike, for Eyre United, and Tom Phelps now is lining up to have his kick for goal. Has a deliberate kick for goal, and I think he's got it. Let's wait on the ump. Yes, it's there, right through. Yes, it's another goal to Kapinnie, and that's his fourth. That's Tom Phelps' fourth goal, and that takes them on to 16 goals 8, I think now, to 10 goals 5. Yes, 16 goals 8 to 10 goals 5, and I think the time is really running out now for Eyre United.
About 30 seconds to go.
They've put up a gallant effort, but they just haven't been on their day today. It's bounced in the centre. Ball's picked up by Michael Harris, who's tried all day. Ollie Flanagan misses the mark. Still goes after the ball. He runs around on his left foot, kicks it out to where Andrew Newland is on the wing. He takes the mark and has to go back. Plays around his man now. But he really doesn't kick to anybody, and Jeff Phelps takes the mark. And what a great game this fella's played today. Ball goes out where Cunningham picks up the ball, kicks it down to the forward pocket. Running for the ball is Stephen Pake, who picks the ball up, kicks it back to Rodney Green, who misses the ball. Grant Nelligan's there, has a shot for goal, is smothered, off the boot and picked up by Ian Hereford. He kicks it out to the forward flank and it runs out of bounds. I think the players are getting very tired now. The ruckmen are really worn out. I think they're not even up with the ball at the present time. Ball comes down to where David Newland is still running. I think David Newland's played a great game today. He's probably been Eyre United's best player. And there goes the siren, and it's there again. Kapinnie have won the game, and they won by 39 points. Kapinnie have won 16 goals 8 to Eyre United 10 goal 5. And just wrapping up the game, Mike, I think that Kapinnie were first to the ball. They had more desire to get the ball today, and I think that played out in the end. And I think the effort of Jeff Phelps, I myself would give Jeff probably best man on the ground. What you?
Yes, I think Jeffrey Phelps was played a top game. He never let anything get past him, and he was never beaten. And he played a top game, and the lot of little fellas around the ground like the Nelligans and Turnbull played well. Mike Kenny,
Stephen Pake.
Yes, you could mention most of the players, but yeah, I think it was a great team effort.
I think for Eyre United, I think we've got to give credit to David Newland on the wing. I think David Newland played a great game. I think he beat his man on the day. And then also on the half-back flank, we have Chris Weaver, who really played a good game. And Brian Fegan at fullback. I don't think Brian put a leg wrong today. I think he really played a good game there. And Stephen Fee battled all day, yes, but I think Lindsay Henry, he just wasn't his day today. I think that it's one of those days that he just couldn't get into the game. But as we see here, it's a colourful thing on the arena at the present time. There's Kapinnie players are all huddled together. Eyre United are walking off the ground, and they're not looking really happy. I think the umpires did a good job. I really give credit to the two umpires who probably were a little bit nervous, because knowing that it could have developed into a game where there was a bit of rough stuff, but I don't think there was that much of it today, and I think the umpires really did a great job in controlling the game.
Yes, the umpires umpired well. They didn't let anything get past them. I think Kapinnie boys, they went for the ball, and they got a bit of rough treatment in the pass, and they played the ball, and the umpires kept control of the game, and I think they've done an excellent job.
Just wrapping up, I think that Kapinnie were the best team on the day, and as we see now, Kapinnie have won all grades. They won the Colts earlier in the day, they won the B grade, and now they've won the A grade. And it must give credit to their coaches and all the players that played. And we see now Bob Edmonds has chaired the first premiership for Bob Edmonds, and here he is putting him up on someone's shoulder. And I think they're really elated at the present time. So now I think that as we close off the day, we've had a great day, and the weather's been really kind to us all. And I think that we'll sign off now, Mike, and hopefully that next year will be